Hello everyone, this is the Crimson Cure, welcoming you to the Crimson Tower, a place where we keep a feminine foot on the neck of the gynocracy, feminism, and black male misandry. So go ahead, pull up a chair, stay a while, and listen. Hey, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. We're going to go ahead and get right on into the topic, but first, a word from our sponsor.
This is A-Game. Fast acting, long lasting, with no side effects.
Hello everybody. Of course, this is your girl, Crimson Cure. And as promised, we're going to start delving into the 10 life values. And so pretty much all of this week, we're going to be talking about the spiritual value, but we're going to be talking about it from different aspects and different perspectives. So I promise that you're not going to get the same video like 4 or 5 times. However, but today is going to be the first of those videos dealing with the first of the 10 life values, which is the spiritual value. And the first thing that I want to talk about in terms of the spiritual value is the concept of truth, because the truth should be the foundation of anything, especially things that we want to have a lasting effect, a positive effect. And since the spiritual value is the first of the 10, it serves as the foundational value or the first anchor of the 10 life value concept. As an anchor, we're going to talk just a little bit about truth, and having that to be the first order of business that we practically do in order to rectify our spiritual selves. Because most of the time, the first person that we tell untruths to or lies to are ourselves. We usually lie to ourselves before we lie to other people about anything. And the lies that we tell ourselves are often the most difficult ones to discern, because we're telling ourselves different things in our own voices. We rationalize, we justify, different things in order to make ourselves feel better, in order to not make ourselves the bad guys. Sometimes we are doing it in order to maintain a victim mentality. So the truth is the number one foundation of the spiritual value that needs to be accepted and it needs to be taken on. So what you want to do is actually just start telling the truth to yourself. If you have a lot of issues, a lot of problems going on in your life just doesn't seem to be going very well, you need to have a sit down with yourself about why. Even if you don't share this with someone else. As I said, one of the things that we do is we tell the lies to ourselves first. Many times we're just simply not honest with ourselves. Like for instance, if we have a relationship, whether it's romantic or friendship, let's take a friendship, and we have an argument, or we simply don't seem to be getting along with maybe our best friend. Many times we won't tell ourselves the truth about why. We will be able to dissect the fault of the other person, what they've done to us, what was said to us, how the situation was unfair, how the situation wasn't right, how we suffered in that situation. But many times we're unable to step outside of ourselves and be a little bit more objective about what did I contribute to this? Because when we're in relationships with people, we're both in those relationships. And while everything isn't both people's fault all the time, when there are failures in a relationship, when there are communication breakdowns, when the relationships break down in some major way, we need to be able to be a little bit more objective and say, how did I contribute? Truly, honestly, how did I contribute to this? If communication broke down, was I clear on what I was saying? Did I say it the wrong way? They seem to have taken it in a way that I did not intend for them to take it, or I delivered things in a way that I didn't intend to. So that's just a small example. We need to be able to tell the truth to ourselves at any given moment, because only when we are being honest and truthful with ourselves and with others is there truly room to grow and improve and become better people. That's why it's one of the rules when you go to therapy that in order to receive the proper help, you can't be dishonest with the therapist. That means outright dishonesty. It also means lies of omission, just leaving out certain facts, leaving out certain details that would cause the therapist to have a different reaction or a different set of advices. Okay, usually because we don't want to be seen in a particular light. We don't want to be perceived in a particular light, or we're attempting to manipulate the situation where people will commiserate with us and side with us on and give us what we want to hear rather than what we need to hear. So again, that's just a small example of being able to tell the truth to yourself, to others, and be able to accept the truth from others, either about them or about yourself. And that's really, for a lot of people, more difficult than I'm saying. Many people find it very difficult to handle truths, especially those truths that don't paint them in a good light or don't make them feel good about themselves. But again, if we aren't honest with ourselves, then there's really no room to grow. If we live our lives wrapped in the cocoon of narratives, half-truths, flat-out lies, and all of these things, it will be a comfort zone, but we deny ourselves the ability to progress. We deny ourselves the ability to improve. We deny ourselves the ability to become better versions of ourselves because we're dishonest with ourselves about the most important things or painful things. And usually those things that are difficult are where the growths are. That's where the growth is. That's where the healing is. Because we have to understand that when we live our lives based on narratives and avoiding the truth, then we're avoiding probably some type of pain, or we're avoiding a disappointment, a heartbreak, or the potential of those things. But then we also deny ourselves an opportunity to truly actually get over those things rather than be afraid to confront them. And that's really kind of almost a small aspect of the truth. But it starts with us. These things start with us, because if we can't accept the truth about who we are, what we do, what our motivations are, and what kind of person we really are when no one's looking, when the lights are off, who we are truly inside. If we can't come to grips with those truths, then we can't come to grips with any other truth that may go beyond that. We will be unable to accept those things because we are accustomed to not accepting truth. Or if the truth becomes too difficult, we are accustomed to sort of avoiding it, or, deflecting away from it somehow, making things other people's fault, or what have you, whatever form it may take. In order for example, in order for a drug addict to overcome their addiction, they first have to face the truth of the matter that they're a drug addict. It's not recreational. They can't just quit when they want to. Other people's lives have been touched, maybe ruined. Their lives may be ruined due to their addictions. They have to sit with that. They have to, and that's the first step. They can't go on in the 12-step program without first acknowledgement and saying, you know what, I do have this is a problem. This isn't just something that, is fly by night or temporary, or it's not that big of a deal. These are the things that they've told themselves in order to remain in the sickness of an addiction. But in order to heal away from it, they have to acknowledge that it's something to be healed from, that it is indeed an illness, a sickness that they need to heal from, so that they can actually begin the journey of healing themselves and getting over the things that drove them to the addiction in the first place. Right? Because usually people are addicted to drugs or alcohol due to something else that they are avoiding, that they are unable to deal with, unable to face, unable to accept the truth about. Okay. So that is the first part of our talk on the spiritual value. Okay. Truth. It is the foundation of everything. Nothing can successfully be built upon a lie. You can't build a building, but your foundation is not sound. The foundation of that building must be true, meaning it must be sound. It must not have fatal flaws in it, or whatever you build on top of that foundation is not going to be correct. It is going to be flawed and eventually may fall because the foundation is incorrect. The foundation is not sound. The foundation is not true. Okay. So the 10 life values is about building one upon another. And the spiritual value is the foundation of this house. We can't move on to the roof or the walls. We can't decorate it, or any of that until the foundation is sound. So this week, this is what we're going to work on. We're going to work on the spiritual value, which is going to be our foundation. Okay. All right. So what I'd like for you guys to do is go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and support our sponsor, A-Game, by going to hit the link in the description box at agameherbal.com. Go ahead and get your 10% discount using the code Kindred10. Once again, this has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.